to Centurion's Corner, and today we are going to be building another custom using the Obi Wan Kenobi body. So it's a bit of an ongoing series really. It's just a case of what you can actually physically do with your figures. So obviously the other day we actually remade old Ben Kenobi. So we transferred all his hands and his head over onto this guy. So using this older body as well, we're going to need to replace the hands from what we've taken off as well. And we're going to actually create him into another generic Jedi. And it's just a shame to waste it really. It's such a great body. But I'm sure there's other things we could physically do with it just to sort of bring it into line. So a little while ago, I did make a generic Jedi Rodian, which is this one here. But I haven't actually got another 3D head. I do have another one of these bodies, but I thought it'd be nice to use this one. And one of the ideas I've been throwing about in my head for quite a while is that I actually bought a bootleg Darth Maul quite a while back. So I wanted to have two Darth Mauls on my shelf, one to represent the Tatooine one, and this one is obviously the official. This one is just, it's the official cape and the face and everything. It's just a bootleg body underneath it, and then obviously this one's 100% official. But this one actually come with the separated head, so I had a spare Darth Maul head. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you the picture up online, or up on the screen right now, and I have actually started painting this guy. I went a little bit ahead of myself, like when I was doing Obi-Wan's eyelids, I kind of repainted this guy, but it's actually a Darth Maul. I haven't fully coated it yet, but I'm using the same colours just to bring it in line, because obviously I want to match the actual skin colour of this guy as well. So we're going to just reapply over the top and then create this guy on the screen for this Jedi. I'm not too sure of the robes. I might do something different. I do like the colour. Maybe I might bring another colour in there or something like that, because I do think sometimes the paint on the actual full figure, it just doesn't sit very well. So we might keep the full colour apart from changing this sort of tabard colour here. And yeah, can't wait to make him. So off we go. So using the same paints that we used yesterday in the Obi Wan Kenobi video, we're just simply reapplying this all over the Darth Maul face and getting rid of all that kind of old Darth Maul look to make him more human. Next up, we're just adding a brown paint, very simple. Add a little bit of water to it, it makes it look more matte than gloss, so it looks a bit more material when it actually finishes and dries. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, it all helps out, and don't forget to ding that bell so you don't miss another episode. Here I'm just finishing off the face a little bit, so just using that red with a little bit more of that sort of kind of buff titanium that we have there. You can create a more of a pinkish kind of line there. We just want to add a little bit to the lips as well, just to bring it a bit more flesh colour. And also now I'm just adding a little bit of brown to that buff titanium, because around the horns there's kind of like a browny kind of thing where it grows out of. So we're just going to add the detail to that and also make the horns slightly more of a bone colour. Next up, just using the same colours again without the red, and I'm just applying a more of a darker sort of shade just to match those colours that we have on that kind of picture that we got from Google. It just sort of make it a bit more translucent, so I just went over it a bit more because obviously I want the black lines to appear over that tattoo. So I'm just finishing that off and applying the details. So here I'm using an artistic pen. Yeah, I am cheating, but I suck at black lines when it comes to paint. I always apply too much or too little and then it overspills. So I'm just applying those black lines to make up those tattoos on his face. So as I said before, I absolutely love this figure. So to make use of its articulation, we're just going to take off the actual lower part of the robe. So using a pencil and my eyes, I'm just going to put a simple kind of line around it to cut off, and then using an X-Acto knife we're going to go around and slice it off, so be careful. Next up, I've got a 3D printed lightsaber here from Clone Base Customs, which you can find them on Instagram and the description down below. And we're just literally going to finish off painting it with silver and adding the extra details on there to give this guy a custom lightsaber. So it's almost complete. What we need to do is just add his hands back. So we're just warming up the figure in some nice hot water in that bowl. Make his wrists all nice and soft, and then simply just apply the hands back in. So next up, we're just going to put some Vaseline around the neck part. So we're going to use some hot glue because the actual ball is smaller than the hole in the head. So we're just going to fill up the head with hot glue, and the Vaseline stops it from actually sticking to the actual neck. So the hot glue will just form around the actual ball and not stick to the figure, so you still have the articulation. Last up, just doing a little black wash over the legs and slightly a little bit over the robes. Last up, we're just going to add the stem to the hilt because it is fully hollow, that lightsaber belt. So I'm just using some Loctite, just poking it down and slowly pushing in the blade. Once it's set, the figure is complete and it's ready to go. So here he is, our very own Zarbak Jedi, and I think this guy has turned out not too bad, to be honest with you. I was kind of a bit scared, maybe tackling the face, but for my skill at the moment for faces, I don't think it's too bad, and I can see an actual improvement. So looking at the guy in total, it's just kind of nice. It's kind of like a very nice kind of romance sort of story, you know, with the combination of Obi Wan Kenobi and his arch nemesis, Darth Maul. And just the face alone on there, you know, we just painted over that bootleg Darth Maul, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. Quite enjoy doing it. And to the robes as well, I've done a little bit of a black wash just in the lines of the actual creases in there, just to give it that little bit of depth in there. And obviously we painted the front with the nice brown, and yeah, looking pretty dapper. It's actually turned out a lot better what I thought by cutting this off around on the trim around on here. It just sort of breaks it up, and actually it doesn't really look like the Obi-Wan figure anymore, and we get used to these fantastic legs now, which are pretty cool for posing. The lightsaber itself, it actually comes from clone-based customs, so I'll put its description down below. It's just a 3D print and a leftover, I think it was a Rey lightsaber there that I had. So I just popped it in there. This is hollow all the way through, so I had to hold it in place. This isn't now removable, but it's fine. I very rarely take the lightsabers out of my actual lightsaber hilts. So I think it's a Plo Koon kind of extension, one of his hilts. So just at the top there, and you know, just add your little personal touches to it. I fancied a bit of gold at the top, and obviously the normal sort of black grip on there. And ideally, I would like him to be a green user. I am definitely a more of a green lightsaber person than a blue, but it's all I had at the time. But yeah, just the figure alone, I think it's just turned out really well. I just think the face, obviously I'm not very good with black lines, so I did actually use a fine tip artist pen on there just to bring those lines in. And I've actually gave him green eyes. Don't know if it shows up very well on here, but yeah, it's just to give him a little bit of difference, as you don't really see many green eye figures, to be honest. So yeah, really happy with him, really cool. And now we can chuck him on the shelf with all the other Jedis, and maybe one day we'll give him his own clone regiment, and I think he'll look outstanding. So thank you once again for joining me on this one. I guess it's another upgrading of Obi-Wan, using your leftover parts and stuff on there. Does this inspire you to create your own? Let me know in the comments down below. You should also subscribe and ding that bell so you don't miss an episode. And also, with all the ingredients and everything that I've used in this episode, I will put a list down the bottom. And it is on Amazon, and I'm kind of affiliated with it, so if you do purchase through the link, it does help out the channel. And also my merchandise is down there, so if you wanted to wear a t-shirt with my logo on it, also from the website I get a small little donation as well. So thank you once again for joining me on this one, and I'll see you again next time. Take care, bye.